Hello, everyone. Welcome back. Camera technology for beginners. This video is for taking pictures to the next level. Today's we'll discuss how to take close-up photography. Here is an introduction to camera photography for close-ups. If you are a photographer, the close-up photos you want to take show even areas that cannot be seen by the human eye. You can see that many photographers are passionate about it. A photographer said that macro photography is the beginning of another new world of photography. What is macro photography? Macro photography is that which is taken with a dedicated macro lens. A real macro lens has the capability of achieving in the least a 1:1 magnification. Then, what is a close-up photography? This is a close-up picture of the subject being photographed by photographing nearby objects such as flowers or insects to fill the frame. In other words, the act of photographing the subject is closed. You can easily get all lenses, including 105 to 300 mm telephoto lenses. Personally, I would love to start shooting macros, but buying a professional macro lens is too expensive and realistically difficult. Today, let's take a close-up shot of the Nikon 28 to 80 mm and the older Nikon AF Nikkor 28 to 105 mm. In particular, let's take a look at how close-up photography can be performed with the macro mode mounted on the old Nikkor lens. At the reference. Macro photography refers to close-up shots and is commonly referred to as macro photography. What is a close-up photo is to shoot an object close and full screen. Today's summary. 1. Minimum focal length. 2. Use case remote air. 3. How to take close-up photography. The minimum focus distance is the shortest distance at which a lens can focus. In the case of DSLR cameras, the distance to the subject is measured from the focal plane mark on the camera body, not from the front of the lens. What is the working distance of a lens? Microscope objectives are generally designed with a short free working distance, which is defined as the distance from the front lens element of the objective to the closest surface of the cover slip, when the specimen is in sharp focus. What is the difference between focal length and working distance? The working distance is the distance between the front of the lens and the object you are photographing. In general photography, this is usually many times the focal length, because the image is much smaller than the object. Case remote air. Case remote is the app that works in tandem with the Case Air wireless tethering system. The Case Air connects and transfers images instantly from your camera to a phone, tablet, or computer. Control advanced camera settings including focus points, exposure settings, bracketing, time-lapse, and more. View your images on a larger screen to check critical focus and composition. Or use Live View or Movie Mode for real-time capture. To share and collaborate as you create. Perhaps the most inconvenient thing for photographers is focusing on the subject when shooting macros or close-ups. It is called the minimum focal length. If you approach a subject closer than this distance, you cannot focus or the shutter release will not work. The minimum focal length is the shortest distance the lens can focus on. For DSLR cameras, the distance to the subject is measured from the focal plane mark on the camera body, not in front of the lens. The minimum focal length depends on the lens, and for zoom lenses, it also depends on the focal length. To check the minimum focal length of the lens, refer to the lens specifications or check the distance marked on the lens. This is not the case for all lenses, but looking at the front of some lenses, the distance is displayed in meters and feet. If you approach a subject closer than this distance, you will not be able to focus properly and the shutter will not be released. To get as close as possible to the subject, first, try to get as close to the subject as possible. Then the subject moves away little by little to find the focal length. If the lens has a minimum focal length of 3 inches, the camera must be at least 3 inches from the subject to shoot. This brief explanation will make your day in close-up easy and informative. It's easier to learn about photography and cameras if you can attend community college photography group classes or college classes. Today, introduced to the basic theme of close-up photos, I have explained how to practice as simple and easy as possible. But if you understand this, camera shooting seems not that difficult. In the next video, I will show you some more informative aspects of photography.